All right.
Um,
In that case, welcome back everyone to the next session of Here Be Dragons. And who's giving our recap?
I can speak with
Yeah, Roofer, do you think you could do it? My notes from last session weren't great.
Okay, let me just get this mounted. Ugh. Alright, Tenders gave Lessla a gift. Lessla gives a little information to Tenders why she's venturing. Cinders doesn't fully understand why Lessla just leave. Then we skip a day, then we go to the next day. Uh, Sapphire's getting ready, tells Jasper about it. Jasper just says, "Nope, I'm out," walks off. We all meet up. We try to open the crystal. Doesn't work. Go to Leslie's room. Doesn't work because of dragon wearing necklace. Then we go to Laura and Cinder's room. Doesn't work. Guy basically goes, "Alright, look, fam. Here's what's going down. How the fuck is the Cult of the Dragon operating in my city with all the security measures we have? And someone's helping, definitely helping them. Also, there might be a ritual on Liar's Night where they're gonna do something really fucking bad. The Black Death might contact you. Don't let them know that I've contacted you about this. Also, see if you can gather evidence to see whether or not he is connected or not. He's my good friend. Hopefully, he's not. I found the Lessla Gord had a little bit of a thing, cause basically like, yeah, this isn't our problem. This is Waterdeep's problem, and the Open Lord can handle it itself. And Lesla's like, what if we did do it? They know that this is a gross summarization. So it's like, okay, we'll try it. Or so she goes, okay, we'll try it. Basically, just, we may die. Everyone knows that. Sapphire wants a pumpkin.
you know, in my
We need it
defense,
for the purposes of the festival.
it's a turnip actually.
Oh, Cheese leaves with Lessla. Goes good by himself, and Sapphire with Vale. Sapphire wants to mother, cheap tangy, as is the norm these days. What's something said? Lesla's unsure what friendship is. He's sad, as she often is. Days. Cheese then does go over to the Temple of Illustry, where Sapphire already is, talking to Suspirina Akenheld about her locket, finds out a couple stuff, like the jade, the carving of the dragon made of jade is actually a dragon scale. It was made ages ago by a dragon, and there's a simple saga. Sapphire has a existential crisis for the fifth time this week. Of course, visits the Fierce and Fierce Tavern. Talks to Lynx. Just asks him if him and his sister would mind looking into the matter. Let him know if they know anything. They don't have to. He's just asking if they know. Lynx says he'll think about it. And we go Cheese heading to the Temple of Illustry, almost gets stabbed. But that issue is cleared up. She asks for Ian in protecting someone, but refuses to give more information, and eventually is able to receive a small necklace that could disguise someone as a young half-elven woman with curly brown hair. Cheese tries to pay for it with the special tablet we found, but Mrs. Akenheld is hesitant as accepting it and just says, yeah, it's a small thing, so it's fine. She's also asked if she could be informed if they learn anything else about the tablet, which that is agreed upon. And Corvus then goes to an old friend of his, acquaintance, and warns him just to be safe on Liar's Night. Then we end the fucking session.
Quickly going back to Cheese trying to give the tablet away, I imagine what popped up in the top left of Cheese's HUD is you cannot remove quest items.
Or better yet,
It
when
was,
she's
it was
picked
this
it up,
item could
a
not be
new
handed in
hand
this turn.
touches the beacon. Playing in Cheese's head.
Now, there might be other people who would take it, but she wouldn't. I will leave it at that.
Not for something so trivial as a disguised self amulet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something bigger.
I mean, this guy's
But
self amulet really, especially one that is a specific form, is actually not very good.
Which is why she didn't want
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Which is what we currently have. Nothing.
Nothing.
But anyway, getting back into things, we'll go ahead and cut to the next day. Was there a plan for all of you to meet up, or?
I don't think so.
I know Lessla told me to meet her at the smith's to get an upgraded armor.
No, I was gonna upgrade.
Yeah, I
it.
remember. I
Or,
thought that was most
I
people actually.
remember that, but I forgot to put that in my notes.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, that's a small.
It's basically if you want to get your weapons upgraded, now is the time while we have time. If not, the only other thing we can do is keep going on smaller adventures to make money to buy better gear before we have to do the dungeon raid.
One can hope that the adventures we pick are small.
Well, a
I
small
would not
adventure
want to
is
do
done
that.
within a day.
I have a question, Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever it came to our little thorny friend, you said it would be about 5 days until he was treated, question mark, or was it more?
They said
till full moon.
yes. They said the next
Okay.
full moon.
And how many
It was
days
not
away is
elaborated
that?
how long that would be. It will be before Liar's Night. It will not be for another few days yet.
Okay. One thing that I know Cheese is gonna do is she's gonna give the necklace to little Dragoninone.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonanon.
And here, let me see. So let's see. Currently, it is, I believe, the 19th of Leaf Fall.
It's it's 2 days after Sapphire's birthday,
Which I believe is the 17th, correct?
which is the 15th. So it's
The
currently
15th,
the
so it is currently the 17th. Okay. I got them mixed up. But regardless, it is currently the 17th of Leaf Fall, and Liar's Night is the 30th of Leaf Fall.
Okay.
So we have 13 days
got
to
it.
do quests.
Potentially.
Alright, guys, it's time to find every goddamn cat in this city.
Too late. Already did it.
Ugh. Eventually, if we keep picking quests, one of them will be a level
I
up
believe
quest.
So I believe
Oh, destroy
everyone
quest,
is
level up quest.
I believe everyone is heading to the smithy, correct?
No, I was not told to head to Smithy, so I have not headed.
Yes, because you have very obviously magic items that you use consistently. Sapphire uses a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I also have a rapier, but don't use that nearly.
And the
as
dagger.
much. And you know, the dagger, yes, but I don't use those nearly as much.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, because Lessla is going to start putting tags on your bow, starting with the sight pin, so that you have an easier time critting.
Yeah, I will make my way to the forge to see Lessla.
Cheese will go as well to the forge. She doesn't have much better to do, although afterwards I do have an idea for her.
I think you also mentioned last week that you wanted to make sure Sapphire was okay after her just staring through the ground.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
With Vale just there, kind of awkwardly like, you're there.
Well, Cheese doesn't want to ask about it because she doesn't want Sapphire to know she was there. So,
that's, you
later,
know, that's a
maybe.
great point.
But yeah, onto the forge.
Up onto the forge, and I'm currently pulling up. It's just gonna take me a work day of working on it. So basically 8 hours and 100 gold pieces, and we can get it done.
100 gold. Jesus.
Hey, it's the second one's gonna be 200 gold pieces. It multiplies.
Hey, like 10 plat. Okay.
Look, were you gonna use that gold
Right.
anywhere else?
I could have. I had plans to get myself a jeweler's kit, which, if I recall correctly, they're what, 50 gold?
Yes, I believe so. Don't worry, we'll just do more adventures.
Yay! Oh, it's 25 gold. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
It's fine. It's not like that's like a mom's salary.
Look, it's either I do. I was debating making you silvered arrows as well.
I'm not criticizing anyone here. It's perfectly fine. I understand adventurers' economy is fucking broken.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You walk
no,
around
very
with
much so.
8 million gold. It's like, what do you mean you walk around with 8 million gold in your pockets?
I have a bag of holding dedicated to coins. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's like when you pull out a gold and slap it down on a countertop, that's meant to be like a big thing. That's like casual day one adventuring.
Well, to be fair, my day one adventuring, I had 0 gold because I had to buy a rapier.
I also had 0 gold. I had to buy a carpenter's tools and a knife.
No, I don't remember.
I don't. You might not have bought. You might have been like completely vanilla coming into this.
Just shrug.
All right. Yeah. So.
Having backstory elements to
I have removed the funds from my inventory already, so.
All right. Actually, this actually brings me to a great question of, did you want to continue using your short bow, or do you want to upgrade to a light crossbow?
I'm gonna need a reminder of what the difference is.
One does a D8, one does a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Will I have to get new arrows?
Bolts.
You would have to get
Gold
bolts.
per 20.
Yeah. 1 gold per 20. Yeah.
1 gold per 20, and most of the cultists we fought use crossbow bolts, so they'll have some on them.
I think we actually have crossbows galore sitting around.
There is also, you do have time.
Yeah.
You could take the time to pick up a new weapon if you so wished.
How much would a magical crossbow or short bow cost?
For the +1 for a magical crossbow, depends
A
on
lot.
magic.
Yeah. Yes. So for us to make the equivalent non-magical version, it would be 300 gold pieces on top of, in total, because I can give you the sight pin to give you the. Actually, no. Actually, the equivalent is balanced. It would be, still 300, but we can talk about that later. But the idea is we give you sight
If you
pin.
want to get that and the sight, if you want to get the sight pin on top of the plus thing,
It'd be 800. Yeah.
extra.
I think the sight pin is the most important thing for you because it increases your critical range.
I'll go with the cheapest option. I'm hearing like 800 gold. I'm like, I don't got that much on me.
As a reminder, there are also rune weapons you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And there are definitely guilds that will do that for you. So you have a lot of options.
How much are those going to be?
Depends on the runesmith. It depends on the rune.
Mm-hmm.
There is a whole PDF for you that is in the homebrew
So
tab.
you need to get a weapon that is capable of supporting rune, which is just 100 gold expensive.
Yeah.
So buying one would already be. So you're buying a crossbow with the capability of getting a rune that already be 125 plus the price for the rune.
Yeah.
As is fun.
Yeah, logistics.
This should have been asked to, like, not today.
Well, that's on you for not thinking about the entirety of the campaign.
So here's the funny thing. I asked about this 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while we weren't even in town, it's like, oh, we can worry about that later. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yes, and later is now.
I just woke up from a nap.
Remember what Lessla said. We don't have the time for you to hum and high anymore. You've got to make the decision now. Come to the force tomorrow.
Okay, okay. So what
That
would
was
the cost?
Drac saying you have till next session.
Yeah, effectively.
Okay, so basically, this
is not you.
I don't think I have.
So if I make a light crossbow, I can then sight pin it. It'll be
That's a quarter of 25. Right?
yeah, it's a quarter. So yeah, because it's the selling price halved.
Yeah,
So-
so that'd be 1.5 halved, 6.25.
So 6 gold, 25 gold pieces, and I can sight pin it, and that'd be me working for the day.
And how much would it cost me for you to do the crossbow versus the short bow?
Oh, well, to make the crossbow, it would just be an extra 6 gold and 25 silver.
Yep.
So 8 gold and 5 silver.
Yeah. It not 25. It'd be 2 silver and 5 copper.
What?
You said 25 silver.
Yeah.
It'd be so
Okay,
total.
someone put
Alright, my
the
brain was doing its
prices.
thing.
Someone put the prices in general because I cannot. I
guess
just
it's
woke
just
up
say-
from
I
a
guess
nap.
it's
I'm not
1.25
100%. I can't
We-
do
we-
this right now.
We are gathering that.
We aren't numbers people.
numbers.
I have two qualifications in math. Okay, I have to use them somehow. I have to use them through D&D. I just wasted education. I didn't pay for it.
So the sight pin, regardless, is going to be 100 gold pieces. I can make you a light crossbow
Okay.
for 6 gold, 2 silver, 5 copper.
An additional 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And question, Shadow, could I just, where I have arrows, could I just switch that to bolts and just make it like a trade arrows for bolts thing?
Fairly easily.
Okay.
The adventure.
I don't think I could take care
The
of
bolts
like,
are actually would require a much smaller case than the arrows would.
Although,
They are smaller.
What I've heard, what the thing is, in your bag. With your
Yeah.
quiver. Hell, most equipment does not start with a quiver. It's literally just you carry arrows in your bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean like I currently have 27 arrows. Could I just not spend anything and say I traded those arrows in for bolts?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
I have to check that real quick.
An arrow, 20 arrows is worth 1 gold. 20 crossbow bolts is worth 1 gold.
Yeah, they're the
Okay.
same.
Excellent.
So then yes,
Cool.
provided you find
Go to Johnny's hunting supplies.
provided you find a seller who is willing to do so. Yes.
Johnny's hunting supplies.
And just tell them Corvus sent me.
No.
They don't know that. They don't know that.
Here's another question. Would I be able to find someone willing to do that?
Potentially it would take some time, but yes.
Can I skip over that roleplay?
I would say that's fine. You could just make some rolls if you aren't willing to do that.
What kind of roles?
Depends on how you go about it.
I mean, I guess I would ask. Like, I know Waterdeep, so I know who would potentially have bolts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I guess go to the shop.
Mm.
Store.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, so let me fucking math this. So 6 gold.
You could just give, instead of doing the micro bit, you could just give Lessla 7 and ask for a little embellishment.
Do I know Elvish?
I wanted to say Sapphire is. Make it red, make it go fast.
And crossbow it is. I will fix the stats as we go.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah. So we're just gonna sight pin it. So that's the only thing I think we can afford at the moment.
Yep.
Which is going to make it so that you crit on 19 and 20.
Beautiful.
Look, you're a pseudo champion.
Believe it or not, champion was a thing I did consider very, very briefly, so I could crit on 8, 20.
Mm-hmm. Dude, a champion
And
with
remind me, how many
Hmm?
how many days that will take specifically?
it takes 1 day to apply a tag, and I can make the crossbow
Very
as I'm
quickly.
basically within like the
You have to
hour.
you have to get some spice.
Yeah.
There's right the body. You can make the what's it called, the arm, not the arms. It's called the arms.
The
You need,
limbs.
like, a wood limbs. But you'll need someone to. The mechanisms will be a bit more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm here for. That's what the dwarf's here for.
Yeah.
Now it's time for Sapphire to go find a nice embellished crossbow to put as her so that we can all see how cool it is.
No.
All right, well,
Maybe later, not now.
I guess she's getting a crossbow that the bolt comes out of a dragon mouth.
Sure.
That's such a lame crossbow.
You be quiet.
Fine, Pinterest.
All right, I think
Just like the idea that you're like, Sapphire's like, okay, can it have like elven text? It just says Sapphire is cool. Or if lost, please return to Sapphire.
Yeah, I'm not liking any of these
I don't.
that I'm seeing on
You got
Pinterest.
some time while Sapphire does that. I had a character called Vigilance, and he had.
So while this is going on, because I know it's what Sapphire, Lessla, and Cheese are going to be doing.
I mean, I did also have a question for Lessla.
yes. What is what
Because
is
I thought of this like on Tuesday or some shit.
No, that is completely fair, though I do want to see if anyone else is doing anything I need to
Fair.
address and prepare for.
So is Corvus doing anything?
Training,
Mm-hmm.
like, relentlessly.
Okay. Where specifically?
So he has his little camp, but he's a little bit away from that, so he's not going to be too close to anyone.
Okay.
And he is just training, probably to the point of hurting himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you may go then. If Corvus is just going to be training, then you may go ahead.
Okay. So Sapphire will make sure that any of the other patrons or people in the forge aren't nearby when she asks Lessla this. Hey, Lessla,
Hmm.
do you think I could borrow the knife? And the other thing for contact? Trying to be vague about it because I don't know if people are trying to overhear.
Lessla has to think about it because you say knife. She has 3 on her. Oh, this one, and she pulls out the one that has the illusion.
One?
Yeah, the one that has the illusion magic on it.
Yes, that one.
Sure.
And then the contact thing. Again, trying to be very vague.
The gemstone that is non-magical.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Also, the gemstone that is not magical, just totally suspicious.
Yeah. Lessla will pull it out and put it on the on the workbench next to where she does the forging.
Sapphire will take the orb and the knife. Again, thank her. Sapphire honestly was expecting to have to explain herself, but this is fine. So, the crossbow will be ready tomorrow then?
And it should be ready by the end of the day if you want to try and test it.
I'll be back later today then.
Don't lose either of those 2 things. I feel like it would cause problems.
I'll let you know if anything happens then. But I will safeguard them.
Lessla looks over to the crow and whistles and says, "Please accompany her in case something does happen." Raven, not crow, Raven.
It takes off.
Every time I call it a crow.
Honestly, at this point, I feel like the Raven would feel insulted.
Well, I there's a reason I never refer to it.
Fair. And I guess then Sapphire will start to head out to go someplace where she knows she will be alone. Which is probably home, considering, Jasper's gonna be at work. Unless someone wants to go with me somewhere else private. Or I could ask Cheese. No, because the dragon with the necklace is gonna be there. So probably not that.
I like how there's we have to mentally go about in our head every location we can possibly go to. Every time we want to do anything, it's could we go here and do this? No, there's this.
So what's Cheese doing?
She's, throughout the duration of most of the smithing, is just kind of sitting there. She might have taken a book with her and is just flipping through it. She's really kind of disinterested in this at the moment, but she doesn't want to be too far from anybody. She also just doesn't like the forge. But,
Alright.
after a while, Cheese does want to go do something, but if you ask her, she'll go with you, though.
I mean, might as well, just for the fact of safety in numbers, plus a Raven.
Cheese will bid Lessla adieu, give her a curtsy, and then go with Sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just confirm everyone is doing.
Smithing.
This is where I would ask for you to list them off, please.
Oh, Sapphire and Cheese are going to Sapphire's place to contact Yelric.
Okay. And Lessla is still smithing, and Corvus is still training.
Yes.
Riveting.
Okay.
Riveting.
Excellent. One less things for me to focus on. Okay. No, you'll be able to make it back there without incident.
Yeah.
At this time of day, Jasper is probably at work.
Is Jasper's room locked or no?
It's not.
Cool. Might as well use the room with no windows, right? Can't risk anyone seeing.
Okay.
Not the open load of Waterdeep in that house.
So you're going to Okay, yeah, go ahead. You're going to contact him.
Yes. Or at least attempt.
Okay. So you bring out the
And of course, Cheese is there with me.
you bring out the small gemstone that he gave you. And after a moment, it does you do see the visage of him standing before you. And he smiles. What can I do for you today?
I apologize for contacting you so shortly after our initial meeting, but shortly after we ended the conversation, I remembered something we had obtained in our first job as a group. We found something, and it seemed, to me at least, that the two gangs here wanted it enough to attack us in the middle, like by the library. And Sapphire will pull out the sacrificial knife thing that has ties to the underworld and kind of show it. And if necessary, she will describe where she found it, blah, 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 yada, yada. The fact that there was one of the gang members, likely gang members, in the warehouse that scurried out afterwards.
He listens patiently as you describe everything, and he stares at the blade. Being kind of just a projection, there's not much he can do with it.
Yeah.
Do you tell him also the properties you've discovered about it?
Yes.
Okay. But once you finish, and as he's been looking over it the entire time.
And I've been moving it, so like as he directs me.
I can safely say I don't know why they would desire such a weapon. I'm unfamiliar with their rituals or their purposes. But if it is connected to the river Styx, as you say, then there can be very little good to come of it.
Sapphire nods in agreement.
Not only is it the river by which all souls arrive to their destination, there are also all manner of creatures that dwell within it, far more terrible than those that exist on the material plane, or even many that exist in the lower planes.
Sapphire is listening intently, as I imagine Cheese is as well.
I can only surmise they hope to steal a soul from the river. What they might do with it, and what soul they might wish to steal, I have no answers for.
Do you want us to keep holding on to it, or should we somehow try to deliver it to you?
He remains quiet for a good long time, actually. Like he's weighing options. For now, it may be best that you hold on to it. Were delivered to me, removing it from my possession may prove to be a problem should the need arise. And depending on what is requested of you from the Black Staff, this weapon may prove to be of great importance.
All right. We'll keep holding on to it then.
He nods. I appreciate you willing to place this degree of trust in me. It gives me great hope for future collaboration. Thank you, Lady Eldercrow, Lady Cheese.
Cheese
Sapphire will give a bow, a little bow.
And unless there's anything else you have to say to him, he will dismiss.
Nope, I figured
Right.
he'd want to know because
Nada.
this is clearly something he'd probably be interested in learning about in case it is connected to, you know.
But yeah, no, there's nothing else he has for you.
Alright, cool. I'll pick up
Please.
the orb. And leaving Jasper's room exactly the way it is. Just turning around and locking out and closing the door.
You are is Cheese. That's the important question.
Ooh, is there anything shiny and easily
Oh.
grabbable?
Oh, I will make sure Cheese leaves
Most certainly.
first. I'm making sure Cheese leaves first. Because, like,
Cheese is quick with it. Cheese is just gonna grab the closest and shiniest thing to her that's easy.
Sleight of hand versus
would
perception.
I notice it?
Yes. She would be sleight of handing this.
So that's going to be your perception versus Cheese's sleight of hand.
Rolling now. Dirty 20.
At a low roll. Shit, Jester's gonna ask me about that. I'm gonna be like, I honestly don't know.
Okay, so what? Describe to me again what you were looking for, Cheese, and this will determine what you take.
Just something shiny and small that is easy to grab.
Cheese is just a raccoon.
Also near her.
Yeah.
Okay, Cheese, I'm gonna message you what you managed to pick up.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Also, I thought I was the rogue here. Why is Cheese doing the stealing?
Because Cheese is a raccoon.
Shiny. Sapphire. Exactly.
Cheese has been a raccoon this entire time.
And Fae steal shit. That's what they do.
Yeah, I know.
Rifford has personal experience.
So many socks.
Yeah.
My attention.
Well, he asked. He asked. Good. You gotta be smart about these things.
But without any, unless there's anything else you wish, you're able to leave just fine.
Okay.
Sapphire's probably like she probably took it as Sapphire was doing a little sweep of the room to make sure everything was in its place.
You
And
Sapphire
crossed over.
basically it's as Sapphire looked away from where Cheese was standing is when Cheese picks it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
will
a earful from Jasper later.
Afterwards, Cheese does want to do something. Cheese wants to go to the Temple of Selûne.
Okay.
And basically, she's just, or at least what I want her to do, is go through what would be initiate training. Like, welcome to the Church of Selûne. This is what you do in the Church of Selûne.
So she's just gonna go
yeah.
alone, or does she need someone to take her to there?
She's been before, so
Okay.
she can go alone.
Okay. Wanted to make sure.
If that's a thing that we could do, I would like Cheese to just kind of start learning about
Become a
Selûne.
member of the church. Let's
There's
go.
definitely something that can be do. There's definitely something that can be done. Though, as you're going there, I want you to go ahead and simply roll me a d10.
Oh, a D10.
Pickpocket check.
Mhm.
In my notes, I just have Cheese goes to church. That is a 7.
7. I see.
I don't like the sound of that I see.
So, Cheese, as you head there, you do take note of two individuals who they don't look like clergymen, either of them. One is a rather tall and slender elf with long silver hair, and he is talking to what appears to be a human man. He looks to be on the shorter side, bit stockier build, jet black hair, kind of scruffy looking beard, and you can tell that you have a good look at his arms as he has his sleeves rolled up. They are covered in quite a bit more hair than usual. Not a inhuman amount, but certainly on the hairier side.
Yeah.
And the two
I
of them
don't
seem
know
to be
it, yeah.
having a conversation. Both of them are armored in some one way. The elf has a very ornate-looking bow thrown across his back, and the human has a sword at his hip.
Are they wearing matching armor? Like they are part of like the same thing, or is this just?
They're
like,
not, but you can tell that the
Okay.
human does have a symbol of Seluna on his shoulder, on his pauldron. The elf, you can't see any symbols on him from where you're standing, at least. It's possible he may have one somewhere that you don't have a line of sight to.
Mm. Can I make a perception check to hear what they're talking about?
Easily, go ahead.
All right.
Are you trying to be obvious about this or not?
So nat 20. Cheese was trying not to be too obvious, but her ear does flick in that direction.
So go ahead and roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Okay, cool. Advantage roll. What the fuck?
Okay, this is not good for you,
Okay.
Cheese.
So
Very good.
So you get a really good earful of their conversation. It's been a long time since I was in a city, old friend. How go your dealings with Seluna? Church has me doing some odd jobs. Here and there, not a whole lot of exciting things. Haven't gone after a den in quite a while. Nor have I. Though I can safely say that the decline in the region, well, it does my heart good to see it. Those who misuse the gifts of the moon are... well, I'm none too pleased to deal with them. Know what you mean. Bit jarring, having to tear apart someone like yourself. Indeed, very much so. But it cannot be helped. There will always be those who misuse the gifts that are given to them. And there will always have to be someone to stand up for it. And take a stand against it. Suppose you're right. Doesn't mean I have to like the job, though. And yet you do it all the more dutifully. I would say that's arguably more noble would be the word, I think. Don't call me noble. I just do my job because I have nothing else to do. And if I didn't, I'd be on some hunter's hit list. You're far too modest, my old friend. Perhaps someday I'll be able to get you to tell me what you really think about your job. Yeah, maybe.
I'd be curious to
Gotta
know
get a
too.
lot of liquor in me first. And as soon as he says that, they both turn to you.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help but overhear. I'm quite curious. What were you talking about?
Matters that are far above your concern. Yes, I'm afraid to say my friend is right. These are not matters to be spoken about openly with just anyone.
Oh, I apologize. You see, I was just. I'm new to the Church of Seluna, and I've noticed your badge. Hold on.
Yep,
Sorry,
go
I
ahead.
was making. That wasn't doing something stupid.
Fair enough.
But during this, Cheese is also going to make a little. She's going to use Druidcraft to make the little. Basically, she's going to blow a little wind next, like right on her little Essence of Seluna jar that she has tied onto her staff to draw attention to it.
Okay, let me check something.
Do they know what it is?
Because it has occurred to me that Cheese might not know what werewolves are, or lichens are, at all.
So you will have to speak. You will have to. It will be obvious that you're doing that. There are verbal and somatic components to that spell.
Okay.
So you will essentially interrupt your speech to say something and make a hand motion with your hand for the wind to blow.
Never mind then, I forgot that. It's fine.
Subtle
It's
spell.
fine.
Subtle spell. Such a great spell.
I'm very new to the church, and so I'm just curious.
You can roll me a persuasion check.
That is a 12.
Mm-hmm. It's the human who speaks up to you. Well, maybe when you've been there a little bit longer, somebody will tell you about what I do. But for now, well, it's best you probably don't know what everyone around you does. Some of them might scare you a bit.
Oh,
And some of them you probably wish you never heard in the first place.
I don't scare easy, but I will take your word for it. Cheese just does her creepy little smile.
They seem, they don't seem bothered by you. Then again, judging by their garb and armor, it seems like they've probably seen some things in their time.
Yes.
While it's immaculately kept, it is not without its blemishes and battle scars.
Perf. Yeah, Cheese will then go through, like, standard, like, hey, I'm new here, what do I do? And if she sees the, I don't remember if we ever actually got his name, and it was the priest that found Cheese. I'm sorry?
Give me a second.
I'm looking for it. In my notes, but Cheese would like to speak to, if he is there. Then speak to him.
But so you're going to.
His name is Morgan. I found his name.
But you're going to leave these two alone, correct?
Yes. She'll just say, "Good day, then."
The human kind of gives you a nod. The elf, however, does give you a bow. And he does reply, "It was a pleasure to meet your acquaintance."
I hope
As
to see
you-
you again. Bye bye.
Yep, the elf nods with a smile. The human doesn't react. But you enter the temple and you ask to speak to Morgan. The young altar boy that you speak to, sort of gives you an odd, slightly nervous look. But he does nod and have run off.
Mm.
There are several priests and priestesses milling about, as well as many devout who are come here to pay homage to the goddess.
Mm.
And there's also a never-ending stream of those coming in and out simply to offer their respects and be on their way. Most people in Waterdeep, and indeed most of Faerun, don't dedicate themselves to one god, and in fact pay homage to several.
Mm.
Those who are truly devout to one are exceedingly rare. But in a city like Waterdeep, there's simply an abundance of people.
Cheese, while she's waiting, is just watching all of these people go by, listening in on conversations here and there when she can. She looks... She might not actually look out of place, but she just looks like she feels a little bit uncomfortable.
You see a large number of, especially merchants, and you can also see some like salty sea captains as well, walking in and out. And there's actually a surprising number of seamen here. Though, given the Selena's portfolio of navigation and wanderers and navigators, that's not surprising. And you also start to realize why Waterdeep has such a large temple to her.
Yeah.
But after a while, the altar boy comes back and, Miss. He's ready to speak with you now.
Thank you very much. She will follow
if you'll follow me. And he scurries off down the behind, like through the door he was poking out of. And he leads you towards the back. There is a little room that's not part of the like public area. It seems small overall, and he is indeed sitting in there with the owl on his shoulder.
I apologize for coming without notice.
You need not apologize for your curiosity.
Well, you understand where I'm coming from. It's hard not to be curious.
It is indeed. The gods made mortals as curious creatures. I suppose it was in their design.
Yes, well... I don't even know where to start.
You can start with what you wish to know and gain.
I think my wants are too selfish for religion.
There is nary a mortal whose heart is not selfish in some respect. He gestures for you to take a seat.
Yeah. Cheese will sit.
I've always known the moon, but I feel like... Well...
It's not something I would remember off the top of my head. Actually, if it was something that actually pertained to my character, maybe, but not when it's someone else's character. Hold up. I think my audio has fucked up.
Is it fucking up anymore?
Okay, there we go. Now, well, so the thing is I just noticed it, and I don't know how long it was happening for, but the Discord audio wasn't getting picked up,
Oh, noise.
and and it was getting picked up when I walked away to go throw something away. When I came back, I noticed it wasn't picking anything up, so I was trying to fix that real quick, and it's fixed now.
Mm.
All right, you're good.
Um,
So she said, I chose the eclipse moon, showed off the essence of Seluna, and she also used her once a day use of disguise self to show off that she was also given magical ability from it. And then she will turn back into herself.
Hmm.
I have been guided as well to this place specifically by this essence here, and well, I suppose my question is just how do I get started? There's apparently a trial for Selenites, but I won't be able to participate.
Well, there are many ways. And largely all of them are very simple. He seems to be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
perhaps you could...
Don't leave us in suspense.
But no, he seems to really be puzzling over what would be the best solution.
Is
You
there
get the feeling that maybe this is someone who's used to having a lot more time than you do.
is there something I should do, or a ritual or something, or I don't know how this works.
Well, the Mystic Seer is also the Lady of Dreams, and there is a ritual that I am familiar with for those who can enter a trance, as I can. Seems to be gauging whether or not that's something that is doable for you.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
I will assume it is not the same as the trance as of my people. Perhaps it is similar enough to give you some answers and some guidance.
It would be most helpful if it works.
If the Mystic Seer is willing to guide you and aid you, then she will.
I will do what it takes.
If you'll be so willing as to meet me outside the city walls tonight, I will guide you through it.
Of course. She nods, and she will curtsy.
He gives a slight bow in response. Now, if you will excuse me, I must be off. I have several things I must attend to today.
Of course. Thank you again, Mr. Silvermane.
It was a pleasure. And with that, he is
Likewise.
off.
And Cheese will go to meet with Lessla again, looking a lot more excited than she did previously.
All right. Sapphire and Corvus, anything interesting going on for you, or are you just kind of milling about?
I will actually go out and buy myself a jeweler's tool set so I can work on the go.
All right.
There was one thing I wanted to do as well, but we'll do it after you, Sapphire. But you just reminded me because of buying things. You go
It
first.
won't be hard to find a jeweler's set. Is that something you wish to handle with a roll, or do you wish to try and haggle for it?
I'll roll because I, out of character, have tried doing haggling in RP in the past. No, I can't.
It's
Well,
simply an investigation check to see if you can find a place that has one. It
Yeah,
will
find
be
a
very
place that-
easy.
That fine place is
Okay.
not connected to the Jewelers Guild. I'll tell you.
I click the button. There we go.
That is more than enough.
Yay!
You will be able to find one. They will sell it to you, but it will be at a slight markup, as again, it is not connected to the guild.
That's fair. How much more of a markup?
It'll be 30 instead of 25.
All right. Okay.
All right. So if that is all for you, Cheese was going to Lessla.
Yeah, but really quickly, Cheese wants to buy Corvus a new fucking shirt.
That's not hard at all, unless you're looking for something specific.
She's looking for something that's practical. It's not like super nice, but it won't tear. Not very easily, anyways.
The shirt of
And
mending.
something that's still like soft. It's not something. It's not like wool or tweed. It's good on the skin, but tough.
It's a twine shirt, actually.
Okay. I have an idea as to what that would be, and things like that are
Alright.
certainly common enough in Waterdeep.
Mm.
Do you wish to handle that with dice or with some RP?
To speed the process along, we'll go with dice, but Cheese will make friendly conversation. It's like, oh, I'm getting this for my friend. I really hope this is his size. If it's not, then I'm going to cry.
You just gotta be like 2 sizes too big. It'll be fine for him.
No.
Go bigger than what you think. If it's too big, it'll work.
So I need you to roll me 2 investigation checks.
Alrighty.
Well, if it's
Oh,
too
no.
big, Corvus won't wear it because it'll get caught.
Yeah, that's a 5. This next one is a 10.
Okay. It's a good thing you rolled those in the order you did.
Oh no.
I said it's a good thing, not a bad thing.
I always live in fear.
Mood.
So you are able to find a shop that will sell something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in the area around the Adventurers Guild. There is a shop that sells something of that nature. But it's a lot more expensive than you would have expected it to be.
Are you sure it costs this much?
Yes, quite sure. Everything I sell here has been enchanted in some manner, and is just as good as some suits of armor.
Might I ask what's enchanted about the shirt?
This one in particular? Well, for one thing, it's far more durable than fabric of this nature. If you take a dagger to it, the dagger will, far more often than not, simply slide off at a glance. And it will mend itself should it be damaged. That is what you were looking for, was it not?
Yes, this price just seems a little bit astronomical.
Jeez, who doesn't understand fucking money?
I
No, this
can
price is
assure you
outrageous.
that for an item of its caliber, it is very, very reasonable.
This one Cheese remembers. Maybe I should ask the person who, studies making
People who
magic.
understand money. Who
Shut up.
I suppose fine.
And she'll pay the full price.
Okay, well, the full basking price is 250 gold.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
With magic.
god, you could.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Um.
The cloth shirt of mending.
Magic ain't cheap, man.
It is a cloth shirt of mending that is +1 to AC.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Shit, I've.
He's actually giving you a really good deal.
That is a really good deal,
I only
actually.
have
That is a really good job.
168.
That's actually that's really good. In fact, that's the what's it?
Now that I think about it, how common are bags of holding in Waterdeep?
Pretty common. 5 to 75.
Fairly common.
I probably should have bought a
Could I-
bag of holding at some point.
Could I give you 168 gold and then something on top of that to cover the rest of the price?
It would depend on the item, but I might be willing to barter. It wouldn't be the first time I had to make a trade in this line of work.
Oh goodness, I forgot. I like all of the things that I have.
The cloak of billowing.
No, I'm not gonna go to that cloak.
Which
I've
is
never
so
used it.
very tonight.
I think
No,
I've
it's
used
so-
it once.
I thought you were
No,
wearing
mine
it.
My
Well, yeah,
headcanon is that it's
in
always
terms of
blowing
the
gently in the
actual
wind,
thing.
ignoring the action it takes to make it blow in the wind. No, it's always just doing that as my headcanon.
Actually, fuck. Cheese will very carefully undo the clasp on the cloak
No.
and fold and offer it with the gold.
Make a persuasion check.
This is a cloak of billowing. One that has seen many
Yes, yes, I'm very familiar with what the item is. I've sold several in my time.
Yes.
Though this is an exquisite one, I will admit.
Killed a man for this.
We did kill a man for that.
Did kill a man for this.
Would there be any...
I'll kill a man again.
Would
What
there
was
be anything else that you're willing to offer?
On top of the 168 gold and the cloak of billowing.
Indeed.
She'll pull out her scimitar.
Would you
The
be
one with the
willing to take
runestone in
this?
it?
No, this is just a normal ass scimitar. I only have a normal ass scimitar.
I think, yeah, we've been giving those all back.
The selling price of a noble axe in the spot is 12 gold.
25 gold.
The selling price is 12 gold per silver. It's not insignificant. She was keeping it on.
She was.
Iron Lady, I believe you have yourself a deal.
Wonderful.
It has been a pleasure doing business with you, and I do hope that you will consider patroning my store again.
Of course.
And Cheese
Splendid.
will watch as this shopkeep takes her cloak away. For this, she looks a little bit downtrodden.
Cheese is just gonna turn into some animal and steal it back somehow.
He very gingerly folds it up and places it behind his counter, and also very gingerly takes the coat. It looks rather simple and practical. It's brown and has some green on it.
Ah, matches his colors
Uh,
already.
Yeah.
Now, it is important to mention, if you do intend on wearing any sort of armor with this, with very few exceptions, it will cease to function. Magic is not powerful enough to penetrate through most metals.
Cheese would know what type of armor Corvus wears. What type of armor does Corvus wear?
Bear skin.
None? Okay, I figured.
He
Okay.
fucking just knocks attacks aside and dodges.
He raw dogs it. Okay, cool.
Gordon is as powerful naked as he is dressed.
Hell yeah! As God intended.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Cheese
Barbarian,
will.
man.
So to translate how this works. While wearing it, your AC is increased by 1.
Ooh.
However, any form of armor worn over it will negate that effect.
Mm-hmm.
If you are wearing mithril armor, which can be worn beneath clothing, it will continue to function on top of it. However, underneath anything else, it will cease to function.
Oh god, Elven Chain would be amazing with that.
But he begins to fold it up and looks to you. Would you prefer me to box it up for you, madam?
Sure, yes, please.
Of course. And he takes out, it is a very simple, he wraps it up in some parchment. Does a little string and a bow on it. It's a very nice little bit of ribbon. And places it inside a very sort of simple box that he has lying around. You would guess it's just a very sturdy type of parchment that it's made from.
Okay.
And he then hands it to you with a smile. I do hope
She
you enjoy it.
smiles.
Thank you kindly.
And she will leave.
And then Corvus says no.
I've been working out what Corvus was going to say the entire time. As the more Shao described it, the more I had to like rework what I have to say.
It is just the shirt portion. It's not pants or anything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. She's, during the rest of the day, will find Corvus and try and give it to him.
Around what time would...
Around the time Cheese gets to you with this, Cheese knows where to find you. Correct?
Yeah.
It will take Cheese. You're outside the city, correct?
A little bit away there. So she might see Boy and Rick around.
Yeah, you're outside the city, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Please.
It's actually quite a journey to get to your camp.
It's on purpose.
I actually don't think Cheese will be able to get to you in one day.
Well,
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not in the Waterdeep.
Is there anything anyone else will be doing tonight? Simply have my desire to give everyone some time and not simply Cheese.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Could be.
You're
It's
fine,
everyone's
we love
choices
you.
so far.
I mean, you're the only one that's doing something that's not downtime.
Mhm.
Yeah, Corvus. Yeah, I know. That sounds great. This Corvus has been training this week.
Have you been training for anything specifically?
Leg day.
Well, to get stronger.
Yes, in any way in particular. Are you trying to train with a new weapon? Or
He's training with the dagger still, but he's also training just punches, kicks, refining his technique, pushing his body beyond its normal limits.
okay, so
Basically,
narrative
all-
stuff.
Yeah. And he's going to do that all night. And he's either going to pass out doing it, or he's not. He's going to be training all night as well.
So I need you to roll me a couple con saves.
You know what she could do? She could wait for you to fall asleep, or remove your shirt, steal your shirt, leave that shirt there.
Jeez.
So you can't take any other shirt.
I'm gonna need you to make another one, Corvus.
Okay.
Considering that you are doing strenuous activity. That's just barely gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you are able to stay up all night. You're not looking good, but you are able to do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did I hear one of the Sapphire Lessla was doing something as well, or no?
I think they only
Sapphire was gonna go back to get the crossbow and test out the thing.
yeah. Which when she comes to test it out, she'll see that Lessla has been doing target practice with it every now and again to refine it.
So how's it coming along?
Quite well. The sight pin should be able to help you hit the more vital parts. And because it's a crossbow, and you don't attack all that often, you're more careful with your shots. The draw time on it should be fine, even without adding a lever.
Out of character, oh right, it's a bonus action loaded, isn't it?
No, that is a common house
No?
rule. You can just shoot it once per turn.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Do you wish to give it a try?
I would love to. And I will be steady aiming for this because why not?
Double 19s.
Okay. I assume
Um,
that there is a, you're doing this at range, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
Really quick, do I get like a +1 bonus because it's now magical, or is
No,
it just
no.
like
It's
no? Okay.
it's not.
I wanted to make sure I didn't need to add anything for like.
Yeah.
It's
bonus
a
to
purely
attack or whatever.
mechanical augment, not a magical one.
Okay. Okay. Okay, gonna steady aim, look down the sight. Damn.
Unfortunate.
That will indeed be enough to hit the target.
I would hope. Which I guess I didn't mean for sneak.
So, yeah,
attack,
you
to
hit
be
it,
honest, I'm not meaning to sneak.
You hit the target to me dead center mass. Feels pretty good.
It might take a bit to get used to this. More used to a short bow than a crossbow, but
Well,
I think I could get the hang of this.
the big draw with crossbows, especially in professional militaries, is that it does not take much training to get used to them.
The crossbow with heavier draw.
It does.
Does.
That
Got-
might be what takes the time to get used to.
Yeah. I imagine you watch Lessla doesn't have much trouble with the draw, but you do, as I think you have a less. Do you have an average strength?
You can have a strength of 1 and still use a crossbow bow.
I know. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
like,
but-
narratively, because Lessla has
My
a
strength's 11.
strength 11.
A
Okay.
cat can do it.
A cat could do it.
Cat.
A
I'm gonna get
tiny
Josh to
beetle
pull a
could do it.
crossbow.
Any beetle could do it.
Well, they could if they had opposable thumbs.
I know you just
Nonsense. They
and
just use their
pull it.
whole body.
Anyway. Well, this is, with what we have available to us at the moment, this is the best we can do. If we take on more quests, we might be able to improve it further. Make it a bit on par with magical variants. And
Alright.
I am petitioning the Rune Guild to take me on as apprentice so that I may improve them further.
Well, I do wish you all the luck in that.
I do not particularly like guilds. I prefer the Silver Marshes way of doing it.
Anyone else Leslie cut out for?
Yes.
Because
So-
I just heard sounds and not words.
I apologize. As I was saying, I'm not a big fan of the guilds. I prefer the way it's done in the Silver Marches.
I completely missed the first part of that. All I got was done in the Silver Marshes.
Nah.
Much like the guild, she prefers how it's done in the silver.
Yeah, I did get it
Okay.
this time.
Okay. And Sapphire just shrugs because she doesn't know how they do it in the Silver Marshes, and it's not her area of expertise. Retrieve the bolts, or are they just gone now?
You're able to retrieve the bolts.
Okay, cool.
I would hope
Yeah,
so.
I think the site's a nice addition. Thank you.
Yes. Hopefully it will improve our effectiveness.
Here's hoping.
I hate that fucking gif. I hate it so much.
And before I forget, thank you for letting me borrow these, and she will hand over the gem and the knife back.
Yes. Lesla's right hand side is now covered with 3 daggers once more.
All is right in the world.
Look, like
Wait,
I'll
if she asks if she's got a right, does that mean Lesla's left-handed?
No, she's right-handed because she has her rapier in her left.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, she uses a rapier, which goes on the left side. She keeps the daggers as sidearms on the right side, as well as where she keeps the books.
Okay.
Although she's not wearing the books right now.
Okay, cool.
Actually, did I ever roll to figure out what handedness Lessla did have? I don't think I did. Oh well, I'll figure it out.
Oh, you just decided.
Yeah.
Regardless, I believe the only thing that leaves is cheese.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, don't be. There's no need to be sorry.
Yes, the
So,
cheese power
cheese.
hour.
No,
As you-
don't call it that.
As you leave the town for the night, you make your way to the designated location you are to meet.
Mhm.
You do find Element in the place he mentioned already waiting for you. It is a small circle out in the middle of a field. This one being a untouched field, clearly not owned by anyone. And there is several fallen logs that mark basically make a triangle loosely, not fully accurately, but that's a general idea as to what it is. And he sits on one of them and gestures for you to come closer and have a seat in the middle.
Cheese will do so. At this point, she has let her hair back down to cover her back.
Mm-hmm. I hope you don't mind cold tea.
Oh, no,
What?
it's fine.
Were it to be hot, it would interfere with the steps taken to enter this sort of meditation, and I'm afraid you will find it quite bitter.
I'm sure I've had worse.
He pulls out his the water skin he has with him and pours a small little bit into just a basic kind of clay cup he has on him, and hands it to you. It's about the size of like a sake cup, and a similar shape as well, more dish than actual cup, and hands it for you to take a sip.
Cheese will do so.
And I need you to make me a con save.
Alright. Con save. That is a 22.
So, you are able to force it down. This stuff is, he wasn't kidding, this stuff is rather vile. Tasting earthy, like the worst parts of earthy, planty, and bitter all combined into one. And it kind of leaves a burning sensation in your throat as you drink it. It's not pleasant stuff.
I think I might have lied earlier. This is probably the worst tea I've ever had.
And then, after that, I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh.
Ball.
That is a 21.
Okay. So, as you say that, you actually begin to feel yourself drift, but you're able to bring yourself back and hold yourself together. And not simply drift off. And you enter a very weird state. Somewhere. So you're used to your trance and experiencing old memories in it. You're not used to actually like dreaming. Though you've had usually when it has happened, it has not been pleasant for you, given the yeah. And also just being but even that felt like memories. The state you're in now feels very different. You're still conscious of everything around you, you can still see. But you know you're not going to drift into memories, you're going to drift into the wild unknown, something you have not experienced before. It's slightly terrifying. And somewhat unsettling. But perhaps there is a peace in that. That is up to you.
Cheese is definitely a little bit off-put by this because it's different, but it's like riding a roller coaster for the first time and figuring out you actually kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
She's
But
excited.
Elemen reaches forward. You can hear it. You can tell he's saying something, but whatever it is not coming through in full. As he reaches forward and simply takes his hand and shuts your eyes for you, if you allow him.
She will.
And the next thing you realize, Cheese, is that you are standing in the middle of the night sky, resting on a cloud. Closer to the moon than you have ever been, and it looks far bigger than it should, even where you are. Almost like you could reach out and touch it, but it evades your grasp.
Yeah, Cheese would definitely attempt to touch it, like reach out and touch it, obviously. But
it takes up almost all of the night sky. As far as you can see.
You're beautiful.
And from it, you see several silvery objects. Sort of just flutter around.
are they familiar like the moon motes?
No, they're not like the moon motes at all, actually.
She will reach out and attempt to beckon one towards her.
They float and twist in a very, very weird manner. Seems to be no logic or thought at all behind it. But at the same time, you know that there definitely is. As they glint and glide to and fro, just kind of dancing.
Cheese will kind of laugh and kind of like, I don't know, glide her fingers around to, I don't know, dance with them. I don't know how else to explain it. She's kind of messing with them.
And you see one of them float off, and it begins to glow. And instead of a silvery mote, there is now a sort of almost holographic image. And it's a scene that you remember all too well, but it's not entirely right. You can see yourself lying on what appears to be a thundercloud, and standing over you is a sort of amorphous blue and white or purple and white shape that gleams gold stands over you, and you can see there's a red haze around your form as you lie
Hold on,
there
I'm writing all that down.
motionlessly. And the shape reaches down, and there's a glow that comes from its hand as the red haze leaves you in a like a puff of smoke, and the form collapses next to you. You very well recognize that scene, even as abstract as it is. You remember that scene from that mansion that day.
Mm-hmm.
But this time
She's
there's something else that comes after it.
Oh.
As you're laying there, there is a sort of floating, one of the other motes comes into view, and in its place is this sort of shimmering, it almost looks like it's made of pure moonlight form that bends down and kisses you once on the forehead. And there is a little bit of a glow that emanates from your form for a brief second before this shape stands back up and disappears from sight. Shortly by the entire scene, as the thundercloud fades back into just a normal white fluffy cloud. The silver motes continue to swirl around and dance in this chaotic pattern.
So you saved me.
I'm looking.
There isn't much of a response.
Yeah.
But as the motes begin to float around again, this time one of them coalesces into a different form. This one, also one that you're kind of familiar with, as abstract as it is, a sort of smallish, silvery-looking, about cat-sized lizard with a pair of wings extending from the sides of it.
Mm.
And you can see it bouncing around happily, clambering up several sort of amorphous humanoid figures that have familiar colors to you. One of them has a kind of blue top and a sort of grayish brown thing further down. The other having like what appears to be like a big poofy thing on its shoulders and very shaggy hair covering most of it, and sort of a greeny brown aesthetic. Another in like very fine, very sharp green and black.
Mm.
And lastly, one that has colors very similar to what you have on now, and a singular protrusion from the top of its head.
Yeah.
And a little tiny silvery form scurries up and down each of them, jumping back and forth, seeming just as happy as can be. And behind it, you see a large face come into appearance, or at least you would call it a face. It is similar to the lizard-like appearance that you've seen on the silvery form, but it's much larger and more defined. And it shifts into like an orangey color, and then into a deep jet black, and a green, and a red, and a gold. Shifting back and forth between all these colors and a few more in a very rapid succession, as the eyes glow a very menacing red. And then the face lunges forward, snapping on the whole scene as the entire thing disperses in a puff of smoke.
That cheese will, like, freak. That's a big fucking dragon.
And lastly, the motes begin to float and flitter around. And you see them take on three shapes once more, these very similar: a bright blue circle, a blood red circle, and a jet black one.
Mm.
and the red and the blue vanish as the jet black one comes closer. And you see, as it begins to morph into these visages of skeletal and rotting forms and individuals, as they all begin to swirl around you, almost like have you ever seen Fantasia, the scene with the on Bald Mountain, him calling forth all the spirits? They are doing that, except it is much less. For whatever reason, it almost is soothing to you, as all of these visages begin to swirl around and around, becoming more amorphous into a black smoke, and that black smoke drifting towards you and filling your lungs, and there's a calming presence as it does. You expect to choke, but no, there's a sweet, a bit putrid, but in a sweet and sort of pleasant and comforting way that drifts into you. And you can feel your shoulders relaxed in response. You see the motes once again form out as they take on several different images. A skull, a wispy cloud with you standing on top of it, or again, it looks like you. It's very abstract and very off-putting. And then another one forming the shape of the moon. Bright, full, beautiful moon. All three of these swirl and form together, and in their place is it looks like the visage of a woman, though again it's abstract and hard to tell. She seems fair and lithe and rather on the short side, actually, only seeming to be about 5 feet tall, and clothed in a garment that seems to wreathe in pure moonlight itself, as drops of it begin to fall down and through the clouds around you, before it disperses once again. And the next thing you remember, you wake up in the morning.
Just imagine John Mulaney's like bit where he's like, and then I ran up a fence and I thought I've never climbed a fence that before. That I've
And
more.
I remember that one.
But
Oh, there's
whenever
nothing
Cheese
scary
wakes
than
up,
teleporting. There's nothing scary than teleporting.
whenever Cheese wakes up, she immediately looks around for Elman.
He's sitting there on a log.
What? I think I saw her.
Many who seek would claim the same thing.
The silhouette of a woman. Short but beautiful. Clothed in moonlight.
He nods. It would seem that you did have a vision of some sorts.
Yes. Many.
Then it would seem as no, there is no question that the gods in general do have a calling for you.
What do I do now? I don't know. Do I start praying? Do I try to become a cleric or something? I don't. What do I do?
That is not for me to say. That is a decision that only you can come to and choose. Oops, ignore that.
I see. Thank you, thank you. Truly, thank you. I have nothing to repay you with.
There is nothing you need to repay me with.
You've been most kind.
He gives a light smile. I can assure you the Mystic Seer is one of few in the Seldarine who care for those beyond her people. She would be very pleased to know that you have sought her out. Far be it from me to deny that.
I believe it might be an honor to meet with her again.
Perhaps
Will
in
I see
time you
you?
will. He just said perhaps in time you will.
And I hope to see you again as well.
It would be an honor.
So long as we don't have to drink that tea again, that tasted terrible. I'll make the tea next time.
She's joking, very obviously.
Mm-hmm. Allow me to leave you with one final offering. And he pulls out a piece of parchment. In time, I believe that this may come in useful to you. And when you unfurl it, you can tell that this is a spell scroll.
Woo! I can hear Lessla turning in her metaphorical grave, even though she's not.
I think I
dead
may have
because
heard
she
Rex
hasn't got
slap the
one.
desk.
Yeah.
Will enhance spell scroll off. Control create undead. Huh.
Yeah, create undead. The spell that would make
Spell scroll
Lessla.
of Skywrite.
This guy, right? Fuck yeah.
I think I gave that to my players a couple
Oh,
weeks
no.
ago.
Funny. Guy, right is.
But no, I did not slap my desk. I think someone opened a dryer.
For fucking with people.
Yeah, just
Hmm.
use the spell scroll of Skywrite to just write your mom.
Just put, will you marry me, and just let the chaos ensue.
That's why you can never. That's why I'm not allowed to have that spell.
It doesn't have to mean anything, but you know, some
So
people.
I am going to send you the spell,
Mm-hmm.
as this is a unique one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Fireball.
There you are.
I'm jealous.
You know, while that's going on, I'm gonna post a question that I've had
So the
pop in
spell
my head.
being called Moonbow. Okay.
I'm reading. Ask away.
But no, that is that will be all. Would there be
Sweet.
anything else that anyone wishes to do, as this has taken a bit longer than I thought it would?
Sorry.
Hopefully Jasper doesn't ask
Don't
me
be.
questions.
We'll get to that another time.
Yay!
uh,
I'm gonna be so
Hey, Silverster, I have a
confused.
new pair of earrings for you.
I'm gonna be so confused, and then Jasper's gonna talk to
wait,
me and be like,
wait, a pair of what?
let me see if I can't find him. Cheese?
Oh, god damn it.
No. Sapphire's gonna hopefully confront Cheese before then. I doubt it.
I don't think you're gonna have the chance because Cheese isn't in town. What's gonna be really funny? Sapphire's going to come to Lessla, be like, "Where's Cheese?" Let's just shrug. Then she's gonna run out, and then Cheese is gonna come back and be like, "Lessla, I have a pair of earrings for you."
No, I would wait. I would
on,
wait.
hold on.
I would not go
I
out
need
to
to give
find
a-
Cheese.
I need to give Corvus his shirt.
Oh yeah.
I feel so bad for taking up so much time. God damn it.
Don't.
I
We had
Sometimes
Corvus
it ha-
sessions, we've had
sometimes it ha-
cheese sessions, we've had
sometimes
Lessla
You're
sessions.
given a time skip, and you're like, what would my character do? And it's like, nothing that requires roleplay. And that just happens. And there's someone
Look,
who
we have
needs
had,
roleplay.
at this point, every single player has had a session where they have done most of the RP. Every single one.
I try to avoid it. Have that.
Don't. Please do not.
You know, I don't like it, Shadow. It makes me feel bad inside.
Guys,
What do you think? That's why I think my
guys,
character's
we have
so
to
boring.
orchestrate it so Corvus has to take up most of the RP.
No,
We gotta.
it's why I
From
can't
now
do
on,
it.
Corvus does all of the RP. Lesla
It's why I
drops her
make my
persona as a
characters
face.
So boring.
Anyway.
So that they have
Anyway.
roleplay as possible.
Anyway. Last thing tonight will be Cheese giving it to Corvus, which she can do now that it's the morning. Cheese, actually, you feel very well rested.
Ugh.
Yeah, Cheese goes to find Corvus.
Are you still training at this point, Corvus?
Yeah.
Okay.
more Constitution saves.
Corvus.
Not at the camp, it's a little bit away, but I imagine the Drake's probably around here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
You'll walk into camp, and Boy will look up at you,
Hello.
start acting like he wants you to follow him.
Yes, could you lead me to our friend?
He starts taking off in a direction, expecting you to follow.
Cheese will follow. And
Oh,
she'll,
fucking
if he's like taking off and running, Cheese will go ahead and run with him. I don't think she's as fast as him, but
He runs at first. You can tell he's stopping to make sure you're following and keeping up.
yeah. Cheese is like very happily like jumping over logs and hopping around trees and using her deer legs to the best of her capabilities.
So, Corvus, you hear crashing through the woods behind you, and as you turn around, ready to strike at whatever comes before you, you see a boy land there and look at you, very pleased with himself.
Of course, Stan wobbles a bit and tilts his head. Bacon tilts his head.
Shortly thereafter, a cheese stumbles out of the brush.
Yeah, and she's you could probably have heard laughing from a while back. Whenever
Yeah,
she
no.
finally gets there, she's just beaming.
It's just delusions one has when they like haven't slept all night. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
swear
Corvus
you hear
has
someone
some dark bags under his eyes and wrinkles.
talking. Darker bags under his eyes. He's more disheveled than he normally is, and his knuckles are the rat. He normally has his knuckles wrapped. They are torn. They're black and bleeding.
Corvus. Oh my goodness, you look terrible. Come here. Come here, friend.
Healing word.
Unfun.
No, you're not. You stayed up all night, didn't you?
Cracks his neck. Odd seeing no need to lie. And if he wanted to, can't lie.
Cheese is going to come up to him, and if he lets her, then she will hold his face.
if it's just holding his fist, that's fine. If she starts mumbling magic words, that's...
She wants to. She has that look in her eye.
And this is when Cheese takes 1 level of sorcerer for 2 levels of sorcerer for subtle spell.
Can I help you, man?
Yes, I wanted to. Here.
And she'll hand him the little parchment box. Little cardboard box.
Looks at her, looks at it, looks at it, back at her, slowly reaches her hand out.
She will give it to him.
Unceremonious, kind of just breaks whatever little seams at it, unfolds deep.
And inside there is a shirt.
It's a very nice but very practical shirt.
And where'd you find this?
Oh, well, I felt awful because your shirt's a little tattered, and so I wanted to try and get you a new one.
Didn't have to do that, man. I would have found one eventually.
Well, I figured I could expedite the process.
As he can tell well made from thrift store, how much did this cost?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Where's your cloak?
I decided I wouldn't wear it anymore.
His eyes narrow.
Deception check.
Yeah, no, he's fucking...
Fuck. 8.
It's okay, Corvus is not very good at insight. Okay, there you go.
Today is.
Half asleep Corvus is too... He actually probably would mean that he's hyper-aware because he knows he's tired.
He's gone full circle.
Second win, motherfucker.
Don't worry, he's not very good at insight.
The line.
Okay, maybe I had to give it in exchange for the shirt, but don't. It's a gift. Okay?
Taste is a mixture. But he doesn't look at cheese when he's going through the motion, when he's going through these, and he just looks at cheese, and it's a look of like, because he understands that this is not ill intention.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks at cheese. He looks at, just looking at him a moment. Just gently sets the shirt down, undoes his cloak, and wraps it around Cheese's shoulder.
I'm screaming. My mic isn't picking it up.
I'm muted. Fucking kiss already, damn it.
Cheese
he
looks
just, like-
absolutely amazed.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And then he begins the slow process of takes his shirt, which also has been slightly tattered, even more so at the elbows. You see again the slightly blackened, bloody elbows. Puts the new shirt on. Clean shirt, dirty body. You know, just how you do it when you live in the forest.
Stop punching trees.
Also, I say this is the first time Cheese has seen Corvus's
Good for
back.
your knuckles.
Yeah, this is the first time Cheese has seen Corvus's back. There's a large, almost claw mark down his back. Clearly, probably got from running away from something. While running away from something. And he just puts his shirt on over it.
Cheese is still just like stunned.
back in there after a little bit, just for a bit.
Cheese is just blue screened.
Dial up noises.
Pretty much.
You know, you might not
It's like
realize
Windows
it.
98.
You might not realize it, but blue screened is a pun.
Yep.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Damn it!
Ma'am?
Right. It looks lovely on you.
Thank you.
Cheese is now just like clutching the clasps of the cloak.
Yeah.
With her hands.
Very warm.
It is very nice. With winter coming on, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Like, I would say, out of all of Corvus' clothing, the two nicest bit of clothing were his cloak and his boots. Everything else looked like... No.
Are you sure?
He nods. I can always get a new one if I need it. I probably will, but it ain't too hard to get hold of.
Cheese will just kind of sink into the fur collar of the cloak. It's like a comforting motion. Like whenever a
Yeah.
kid's wearing like a comfy scarf
Yeah.
and they like sink into it. It's like that.
Suppose while you're here, I have a question to ask, if I may.
Yes. What is it?
It's a tent, but rolls his shoulders a little bit, and you realize Corvus probably does these motions a lot, but the cloak hides it.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to call you Gucci?
I don't know. Do you want me to call you Corvus?
His expression darkened. No. But I can't stop.
What would you want to be called?
Nothing. I'd prefer having no name.
Would I call you friend?
I suppose.
Then I will.
Just odds.
She tucks a piece of probably very sweaty hair behind one of his ears.
I suppose it could be time for me to look for a new name. Or to look for my old one, if I ever had one. It is your choice.
If you wish to be called it, I will, but
It's a title, that's all. I've never viewed it as a name.
I was told that if someone wishes to be called something, it's rude to not call them it. I wanted to make sure I wasn't insulting you further.
I don't think so. I've made it my own since then, in a way. It still hurts, but I don't know.
understand that. Suppose I can understand that. Is anything else you need?
There's no chance I wouldn't be able to get you to smile, would there be?
He gives Cheese the most confused look. Like the face fully like almost completely scrunches up a little bit. What? I'm not sure I remember how to do that.
And that is my task. I'll remind you how.
How expensive was this shirt? If
Oh,
I remember,
don't-
that cloak of yours was magical.
Don't worry about it, please.
You would also notice her scimitar is gone.
Yeah. Well, I'll do my best. Because he's just noticing that she's not making any attempt to move away, is she? It's just like,
No, she's not.
what's going on? Need something from you.
Oh, no, I don't know, I thought I might join you for a little bit. It's morning, right? Should probably eat breakfast.
Wasn't planned.
That's not good.
I could go days without eating.
Just because you can does not mean you should.
I gotta train.
Your training regimen, I think, should include time to eat, friend.
It would. Don't have time for that.
Fine then. I'll make something while you continue to train, and then you can eat while you're continuing to train.
And there's no need to make a fuss. It'll be fine.
Nonsense.
Shit, do I have this spell prepared? That's the question mark. I don't think that I do.
Goodberry?
Fuck.
I mean,
was
it's
gonna
a-
cast Goodberry, yeah.
It's a new day, so you reselect your spells.
That is
Yeah,
true.
but Cheese has already
Yeah.
had morning.
Yeah, I've technically
Yeah.
kind of passed that.
I can forage. I'm good at
Ma'am,
that.
there's no need to do that.
I don't want you going hungry.
I won't.
She does not look convinced.
Not lying. He truly believes what he said.
Corvus, friend, please. Let me help you.
I don't need help. I need to get stronger.
Sure, you don't need help, but it's nice to have it sometimes. And at some point, we do need to continue your training with magic, and you can't do that on an empty stomach, that I know.
Shut up, Lessla.
Flashback to all the times Lessa skips a meal because she's reading a book.
You don't need sleep, water, or food. You don't need hygiene, you don't need anything. Just magic and study. This thing purely on 5-hour energy and a dream.
If you drink 4 or 5 hour energies, you get a free hour.
It's
Or
You-
6.
a day.
For the day.
Suppose I could take a small break. Go do
Wonderful.
whatever you need to do. I won't hold you up.
Well, oh, goodness. Try and take a nap, please.
I'm fine. I've done worse than
I hate to say it, but you look like death, and I would know.
worse than it goes. Winter, I'll look like this almost every day.
Not with us. Not with me. If it worked to me, you'd never know the cold again.
It's like every time you say something, he has to take a moment to like collect his thoughts. Not used to conversations going like this.
I don't think he's used to conversation.
He's used to some conversation, not this in depth or this well-meaning. And don't have to fuss over me. If the winter takes me, the winter takes me. That's how it's always been.
I won't let it.
Don't care much for what other people want. But this conversation will go in circles if we continue.
If you must deny my assistance at every turn, then fine. know that I'm going to help you anyways.
If looks off and just away from Cheese a second before turning his gate, before looking back to her. And I suppose, thank you, man.
It's the least I can do.
Raises an eyebrow.
You've been kind. And you've listened, and you've helped. I can't even begin to repay you.
I ain't done nothing.
You've done everything that I needed.
Oh, that's the line. Alright, give me a second. Fuck.
Corvus is
Can I
making a
call a
check.
friend? Can I call a friend? I call a friend.
Um,
Like advice.
It's
advice.
a $1 million question. He's phoning a friend.
If you need advice, if you don't know what to say and Corvus doesn't know what to say, here's an option that always exists that is probably something Corvus would consider. Just walking away.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. It's just like those, like... We would just go look for something to eat, I guess. It's just... Doesn't want to be there right now.
Did
That's,
I say
that's...
something wrong?
Stop. This. Yeah, it just doesn't continue that far, just goes to find something to eat.
Right. Good luck. If you need me, I'm in the city. I'll come visit you before the week is done.
Yeah, he just goes off.
She's a little bit dead. She's a little left in the water, but
Yeah.
she has this cloak and she's kind of sinking into it.
Okay, well, I have something I have to do now, which is go hunt another wolf to get another cloak.
You know, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
like
gonna be matching.
that's gonna be like a 2-week endeavor.
No, not for Corvus.
No, because you gotta find the wolf, you gotta hunt the wolf, then you gotta skin the wolf, then you gotta do all the processing to make it an actual usable cloak.
Yeah, go get some people for it, but he's fine. Or if he's lucky, someone already has a wolf cloak.
It's
Yeah.
just
and
just
he
laying
can use
around.
and he can use trading of materials to just get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck me.
and
He's
Him.
a-
You're killing him, jeez.
all before he freezes to death because it's getting colder.
Oh yeah, it's getting cold, but luckily, not quite yet at winter yet. He's still got a little while left.
Doesn't mean he can't catch a cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
It's it's just the consequences of our actions.
All right. But I think if that's everything, I think that's where I'm gonna call it tonight.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I've asked important questions, Shadow.
I did see them.
Yes. But with that, as always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And if you support the channel or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.